the applications resume from the students. And in this year, I saw or I experienced students simply attach the file and send an email to the particular person or faculty, in which they have not mentioned the particular subject. Body of the mail means respected sir, dear sir, kindly find the attached copy here with of my resume, this and that. That I am seeing from the student side or the applicant side. Student, don't forget your email is a first impression, okay, to the your HR or the industry people, through which they will understand your quality. Then depend on your email, body of the email, they will understand what type of student you are. With your email or through your email, simply they understand how to write email, what quality of the student has. So without wasting a time, I, Dr. Mukesh Desai, request you to today's speaker, Dr. Arindam Patra. Good evening, sir.
Sir, very good evening.
So I introduce Dr. Patra. Dr. Arindam Patra is working as an assistant professor in the School of Science, Department of Humanity. He completed his PhD from Pandit Ravi Shankar University uh, of Raipur. He has a more than 10-year experience. He present more than 12 research papers in the conference as well as the reputed journal papers. He also worked as a reviewer for the several publications. With this short introduction of Dr. Patra, I request to him, sir, kindly give the presentation of the today's topic. Sir,
Thank you so
start.
much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mukesh Desai, sir. As you have very rightly said the tone of the lecture today, that is the context which you have already observed and have been observing for a long time, that during internship or for other purposes, email, it has become a part and parcel of our day-to-day life for the professionals. Sir, am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are clearly audible.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, all of us must know about different segments of email and about email writing. So, thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you. I'm going to share my presentation.
Yes, sir.
I have shared the PPT and made it in full screen. Sir, once please confirm whether it's in full screen.
Not in a full screen. You please press. This is now it is in full screen.
Okay. So, dear participants, very good evening once again. And today I'm going to talk about email writing. This is very common, and those who are specifically related to any organization, institution, email is a part and parcel of our day-to-day work life, day-to-day duty. So this is very important to know how to write an effective email. So in my presentation, I will try to cover up all the things since the beginning, since the very beginning of email, how it was invented, and why this has become a part and parcel of our day-to-day work life, professional life. So all these aspects I will try to cover within this specific time period. And finally, we will have a live interactive session when I will just share my screen, opening the mailbox, and there I will just share some things. So many of you know most of the things which I'm going to talk about, but there might be something new. So it will be my humble suggestion and request kindly to pay attention to my presentation, and finally we will interact. So first I have changed my slide. Probably it's visible. First, I am going to talk about certain facts about email, which probably we know or don't know. This email system, which we use today on different domains like Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. So this email system was first developed in 1971. And there are 3.7 billion email accounts now worldwide. Just look at the number. And almost 86% of professionals, they take email as their favorite mode of communication. And whatever the emails are being read, these are maximum, more than 66% of email are read on mobile devices. These are certain facts, probably we don't know. That's why I thought to share these things in the beginning of my lecture. There are 269 billion emails on an average. This is a research data. So 269 billion emails per day we exchange worldwide, I'm talking about. And in a company with around 1,000 employees in size, they use per employee use around 120, per institution use around 121 emails per day, and 40 emails probably a single user, single employee use. And there is a fact, if we make our email subject lines within 61 to 70 characters, it will be the most effective subject line. So these are nothing but certain facts that we must know. And as per the HubSpot's report, there is an agency HubSpot. So they once made a survey and had given a report that 3 days in a week, the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, these 3 days are the most important day to open an email. That means most of us, even if we think, so first 3 days of a week, we generally use emails the most, and then by the course of time, it reduces. Anyways, I'm going to talk about certain things and the topics which are going to be covered today's lecture, today's session. These are first email. What is exactly email? I will talk about a little bit about the etiquettes and why email is a part of our day-to-day life. That thing also I will discuss. Email interface, its components, composing, how to compose an email structure, few practical hands-on examples of various components of email etiquettes, why email etiquettes are important to be followed, its needs and importance, phishing and fraudulent email. This is another topic which we must know, as this is a formal session. So I thought that definitely that awareness should also be spread it out. And managing inbox, a live interactive session. So I'm going to the very beginning of email's dictionary meaning. As you know, etymology is very important. Whatever we are going to learn or know, in that case, etymological meaning is very important. And we should know, first of all, what exactly its etymological meaning or the dictionary meaning. Oxford Dictionary says, email is a way of sending messages and data to other people by means of computers connected together in a network. Cambridge says, a system for sending messages electronically, especially from one computer to another using the internet. And Google meaning says that messages distributed by electronic means from one computer user to one or more recipients via a network. So what I did that highlighted three words: electronically, electronics, and email. In the title of this slide, I have mentioned email in two fashions: email or e-hyphenated mail. E stands for electronic or electronically. So we are going to interact or communicate on electronic channel. In communication, definitely there need a channel, and we are going to communicate through email on electronic channel. So once we are going to depend on the electronic channel, we must know about netiquettes. That means we are going to depend on the internet. Electronic form means definitely we need some wavelengths, internet. So once we are going to use the internet to exchange emails with each other from one system to another, it might be a computer, it might be a tablet, it might be a mobile phone or any other device, doesn't matter. But once you are going to exchange your thought or message with others over internet, definitely you must be aware about the netiquettes. Netiquette is nothing but a portmanteau or a hybrid word in English that is formed with internet and etiquette. Probably all of you know the meaning of etiquette. Etiquette means certain set of rules which we follow in our day-to-day life to have good interactions or interpersonal relations with others, right? So once we are going to depend on internet, definitely we must follow certain etiquettes. So netiquette is nothing but the network etiquette, that is the cyberspace. Once we are using, suppose we are now interacting with each other on virtual platform. So this is also internet, based on the medium of internet. So definitely there are certain etiquettes we must follow. So it means the forms required by good breeding or prescribed by authority to be required in social or official life. And it's a set of rules for behaving properly online. How to behave online. That means this is very important to maintain a manner, good manner or good etiquette when we interact with each other. So definitely, irrespective of place, whether we are physically meeting or we are meeting online. So if we meet online, definitely we must maintain certain protocols, certain etiquettes. So that is netiquette. So this is a common term when we are communicating with others over internet, over cyberspace. So we must follow that netiquette. Now these are two pictures, and the first one to the means the upper one to the lower, I have mentioned an arrow and mentioned a word revolution. I'm not saying that the top picture has become completely obsolete, but how many of you can say, or how could you say that these persons, that means the postmen, they carry personal letters, how much personal letters they carry nowadays? Only due to fulfillment of certain formal communications, official intimations, we simply send some letters or certain consignments by post. So that has been changed over the time, and now we are in the age of email or electronic mailing system. So why email? Why we are very much dependent nowadays? As I have just showed you that statistics, that 86 to 90% people nowadays, they frequently use, or they are completely or partially mostly dependent on the email communication or email conversation. Why? What are the reasons? There must be certain reasons, so that we have means completely accepted this communication process as our own. So that we will find the first thing is less time consuming. Just if you compare the previous two pictures which I showed, if you compare, in that case, you will find that less time consuming. Email is definitely less time consuming. Just imagine or compare. You are yet to communicate through a letter with another person. So how much efforts or pain you have to take. But once you are going to send an email or any communication through email, then how much time it will be required. Second is, this is instant. The transmission of message is instant. Immediately we can send the message to others. Delivery is confirmed immediately. Once you send an email, immediately you will find that that mail has gone to your sent box or sent email, so that you can confirm that this mail has been successfully delivered or sent. You can send hundreds of pages or even multimedia files through email. Now, if you send a book or any consignment having more than 200 pages, so you have to pay according to its weight. So once you are going to book a parcel in the post office, it might be a registered post or speed post. As per its weight, you have to pay for its for the consignment, right? So the attachment you can send with hundreds of pages and different multimedia files easily. And the number of persons you can send the email at a single click. Suppose you are going to send the same message or a letter to 5, 10, or whatever the persons are. So if you are going to personally post letter or the invitation, in that case, how much it will be time and costly. But email is time and cost effective. You can send your message, any invitation or any letter, anything immediately to a number of people. It might be in numbers. Okay. And this is cost affordable. Definitely, if you have internet connection and a system, so you can easily send emails. There is no problem. So that low income group companies or organizations also, they can use, even a startups also, so they can easily use email. And it's time friendly. Definitely, as I told you, that once you send an email, just with a click you can send it, and it will be immediately confirmed whether the recipient has received the message. Now this is the interface of an email. Just I have attached a screenshot of my mailbox. So in the live session at the end of the last portion of this lecture, I will talk about different segments of email. So generally, this is the mail interface. Once you log in with your login ID and password, you will immediately be directed to the home page of the email, and this is the email interface. So once you log into the email, you can see that in this way the mailbox will be opened, and this is the Google Mail, Gmail, so that now is all the domains they are using the segregations. You can find primary, promotional, and social email. So generally, the important mails are being stored in primary mail. Certain promotionals and social mails, as per its domain, automatically get bifurcated and sent to the specific boxes. And in general, I'll be talking about in details the other things, but in general, you can find that this is compose mail. So by clicking on that compose mail, we can compose an email, and there are certain options like inbox, where the mails are being stored and they are being kept over here. Starred, that means if you mark a mail as star, that means these are important, so that you can have direct access to that starred box, and you can easily get these mails which are important to you. Snoozed, that means this is a time setup, so that will remind you the mails which are to be sent or to be reviewed. Sent, which mails you send, generally these are being stored in the sent mail. Drafts, you know that once you compose a mail and you just keep it for its later sending, so that will be stored in the draft box. And the more options, there are certain mails, and we can create labels also. So in these are the advanced thing that we will talk about in the live interactive session. Next, this is the structure of composing an email, which is the ultimate part we are going to discuss. Or what we have to learn, how to effectively compose an email. Certain things are there, so that we will definitely look after, that how we are going to send an email, or what are the different etiquettes, email etiquettes, as I have already talked about etiquettes. So ultimately, the target outcome of this session, or what we are going to learn from this session, is to how we can compose an email in a perfect way or in an appropriate way. As Sir has already mentioned that he has been observing for a long time, as he is associated with the CDC of his department. So he has been observing that the students, those who are yet to pass out, that means graduating students going to internship program or being placed by the CDC. So they are going, and they're due to their primary communications, when they are going to send an email to the CDC or to the CDC coordinator or any other persons during their internship event. So they are making lots of mistakes at the time of composing email. So generally, as I just told you, that once you click on the compose option, this interface will be opened, right? And this is the interface of Gmail, where you are going to compose an email. So here there is two. There is CC, BCC, subject. This is the body of the email, and this part is the mail signature. And there are certain options by which you can structure your message. You can change the templates. You can, just sometimes bold, italics, and change the fonts of the mail, means the letters. You can increase or decrease the size, font size. You can highlight, and certain things that we will talk about. And finally, you have to click on that send button, so that your mail will be sent to the respective persons to whom you are going to send that mail. And these are certain options which we are going to talk about. The most important option is this. This is the attachment. So we generally attach certain documents, certain files with an email when we are going to send it. So at the time of sending or before sending, we must confirm or assure whether we have attached the file, and there are certain options are there that we are going to talk about. So first of all, as I have just told you that different segments. First one is from, that means from your mail ID you are sending. So from mail ID, automatically it will be there, your mail ID. Then there is to. To means to whom you are going to send the mail. It might be a single person, it might be multiple persons. No matter, you have to mention the email IDs there in that to column where it was just shown in the previous slide. You can mention 1, 2, 3, 4, any number of recipients to whom you are supposed to send the mail. CC for carbon copy. That means the same thing which you are going to send to certain persons to whom you are going to intimate. किसी को intimate करना है कि आप कोई mail ultimately किसी को भेज रहे हैं, और साथ में उसका एक कॉपी किसी को भेजना है. Previously, if you can remember, there were carbon pages, carbon papers. Carbon papers are used even in business purpose, also in different cash memos and other purposes. We use that carbon papers. So once we place a carbon paper just below the main page on which we are writing, so its impression will be on the second page. So before going when you are going to send an email, suppose if you would like to intimate this mail as an information to other person, in that case you can put the mail IDs in the CC column that was shown there in the previous slide. Next is BCC. Probably BCC, many of you know, many not. So BCC stands for blind carbon copy. So the purpose of BCC is, once you are sending an email to some persons and you don't want that to whom you are sending the mail, the recipients won't be able to see each other. I mean, when generally mails are sent by the organizations or institutions for an interview, that they have shortlisted certain candidates, number of candidates, and they are asking or inviting them for a personal interview. In that case, they send the email at the same time. As I told you that you can send email on a single click to a multiple persons. तो एक ही मेल को सपोज उन्होंने 10 लोग को भेजे and they don't want that these 10 persons won't be able to see each other. In that case, they will put the mail IDs in BCC. So the recipients will receive the mail, the entire exact mail they will receive, but they won't be able to see that parallelly to whom that mail has been sent. So in that case, to fulfill that purpose, we use this column BCC or the blind carbon copy. The subject line, definitely, as we used to write in the letter, or we generally write in a letter, subject line is very important. Then is the salutation, very, very important aspect. I'm going to discuss in detail about all those segments with the live examples. The mail body, so where you are going to exactly communicate the message that has to be mentioned there in the body. Leave taking, that means concluding sentences, certain concluding sentences you have to write. And then sign off, that means you are going to put your name, your organization's name, or your phone number in the email signature. How to set the email signature, that I will talk about. So in detail, I'm going to talk about now. The first thing, this is regarding subject lines. This is very important. And I have just mentioned as an example a few subject lines of from the real mails. Okay, कुछ subject lines को मैं यहाँ पे present किया हूँ. Always remember, subject lines must be short, precise and concrete. एक ही टारगेट होना है सब्जेक्ट लाइन लिखते समय. आपको ध्यान में रखना है कि मेरा सब्जेक्ट लाइन देखते हुए main essence or the important message, ultimate message which I'm going to convey through this mail will be understood by the participant. So suppose I have just mentioned a few subject lines of different purposes. Suppose you are going to notify certain event to the recipients. In that case, you can use in this way. Notice regarding the celebration of any festival, like here Sri Ganesh Utsav on 19/9/2023 in the campus of OPJU. Suppose you are going to notify something in this way, you can use the subject line in this way. These are certain, I'm not saying that these are the exact lines which you have to write, but you can frame in this way. These are the standard lines. Regarding list of reconstituted university clubs, suppose you are going to intimate certain information to a large number of recipients. In that case, you can use regarding. And regarding, this word is used commonly when you are going to send any document, any intimation or any like information. So in that case, you can use that word regarding. And sometimes many people use its abbreviation also, RE dot. That also stands for regarding. So regarding list of reconstituted university clubs. Or you are sending any document which is very popular document, or that document has been circulated monthly or in a bi-monthly manner, or in a quarterly, half-yearly, yearly manner. Suppose in case of newsletter of an organization. So in brief, you can write that OPJU newsletter. So the participants, you can understand OPJU means the name of our university, OP Jindal University. So the university's newsletter, every month this newsletter has been circulated. In that case, it could be written like OPJU newsletter September 2023. Month and the newsletter, so that it's clearly understood that the mail is containing the newsletter of the university of that particular month. Suppose you are going to invite someone for an event, invitation for a one-day online international workshop on translation studies. Invitation for 5-day online STTP on role of IoT in smart systems and infrastructure. In this way, you can invite something for invitation. You are sending an email. You can use the subject lines in this way. Suppose recently Google, every year they upgrade their terms and policies. So this is an email by Google, annual reminder about Google Play terms and policies. So you can use in this way to remind something, or to revising a policy, something, or terms and conditions. So in that case, we can use the subject lines in this way. Or you are just going to aware someone regarding some threats or some danger. In that case, be aware of this phishing attack. Be aware of the applications that steal money from account. So you are going to aware. That means what I'm trying to say, what would be your central or the core message? Such type of keyword should be there in front of the subject line so that it will clearly means clarify the meaning of your mail or the ultimate meaning of the mail, which is it's consisting, right? Learn systematic literature review. Probably you are sending an email not as an invitation but as an intimation. Probably many people or some people may be interested on your topic or on the certain things which you are going to send. So in that case, you can frame the subject line as learn systematic literature review, or 30-hour AICT evaluated patent course, or certificate for basics of IPR course. So these are all the subject lines which I found suitable to be presented in front of you. That's why just I have shortlisted and presented these examples. Next is the salutation. Very, very important. And what I would say rather this is very unfortunate that many people of different stature, different level, irrespective of higher to lower, different dimensions. So it's very, we have to be very, very cautious at the time of mentioning salutation. Salutation will reflect your approach, your gestures towards the other person to whom you are addressing. So generally, when we are sending an email to a very higher authority or to an old age person, very experienced, wise person, or means very reputed one, in that case, we can use respected. In after that, respected sir or madam, whatever is suitable. In general, we use dear in general because this is quite formal and formally used in a large scale. So generally we use sir, dear madam, dear colleagues, or if you don't know exactly, or many people you are sending to that mail to many people, in that case, dear addresses, although this is not commonly used, but you can sometimes use when the number of addresses are more than means 2, 3, 4, 5. So in that case, but probably you have seen many people write dear sirs, madams. So this is a very, very awkward and not suggested to use. Sirs and madams, this is not suggested to use. So you may avoid it using this thing. So in that case, you can write dear colleagues if to whom you are sending the mail, if they are in your same stature or the same level, you can write dear colleagues, or dear addresses also you can write. And sometimes many people write as dear all, that is also been written. And sometimes we write dear and then we write Mr. or Doctor if it's a certain kind of means very formal kind of addressing. In that case, you can write as dear Mr. or Doctor, but after that you have to either write the first name or the last name. Suppose you are writing dear Dr. either Arindam or Dr. Patra, not Arindam Patra. Okay, not the complete name after that. So that is the suggested one to use as the salutation. Or when you are addressing a community, in that case, you can use like students when you are using. So to sending the mail to the students, in that case, students, participants, to any community. Like if you would like to write it all, you can also all, but this is sometimes informal. So in that case, to whom you are addressing, that should be mentioned well and defined. And in some business email, common emails, promotional emails, you have found that hi, hello, these type of informal salutations are used. That can be used in business emails. So formally we don't use. So as most of the participants, you are the students and going to appear for kind of interviews, internships and all. So you can use it will be suggested you can write respected sir madam or dear sir madam. So as per the suitability, so you can write accordingly, but very important. And after salutation, you have to give a comma and then you have to break the line. That means the next line you have to start writing the introductory line and the greetings and all the things. Greetings and the introductory lines, which I'm coming to talk about. But after salutation, you must give comma and then you have to press on enter key so that you can come to the next line. Don't continue in the same line. This is not a good format. You can see here, I have just mentioned certain examples, how bad email examples are there. Like, hello, madam, I wanna go to my house. I gonna bunk your classes for the next 2 days. So this is an image which I have just mentioned you for showing you how badly mails are being composed. Hi, sir, urgent matter, very important, suffering from severe stomach pain, cannot come to write the examination. In this way, as you can see, in this way, this is not at all suggested to use such type of languages or such kind of things. See, you are communicating your message. The other person will definitely be clearly understood what exactly you are going to say, but this is not exactly the formal way of communication through email, right? So we must avoid using such things. Or like at the end of the mail, we write like cheers and different sort of exciting words in this way with the exclamation. Exclamation marks will be only used as per the grammar of the language when you are using any sort of exclamatory sentences. Be very specific in that case, the use of exclamatory marks. So randomly don't use exclamatory marks. And don't think that your informal chat language you are going to use, colloquial languages you are going to use in the email or the formal communication. That is not at all promoted or suggested. So opening sentences, you can start writing an email after the salutation with a greeting. Like you can write greetings or greetings of the day. Suppose why greetings of the day? That might be a question to many of your minds. That why greetings of the day? Because greetings of the day, suppose you are writing an email in the morning to a person of the another part of the globe, to America, USA or UK. So now it's night there. So in that case, if you write good morning, it will be irrelevant to that person, that probably that person is reading your mail at night. So greetings of the day, that is common. Hope you are doing good. Hope this email finds you well. Hope you are in good health. Although in a very hardcore formal mails, these kind of opening sentences are not required, but you can simply write greetings if it's required. And after that, before starting to write the body or the main message, you can start the lines or the phrases in this way. This is to request, this is to inform, this is for your kind information or intimation, with reference to the trailing mail. When you are maintaining a mail thread and you are forwarding your conversation, in that case, you can mention with reference to the trailing mail, with reference to the notice or advertisement or the mail dated. So these are very commonly used in formal purposes. So please remember these sort of lines. These are very important. Like when you are responding to an email or your CDC coordinator has sent an email regarding an information. So you are going to revert that mail. So in that case, with reference to the mail or with reference to the trailing mail, or sir, this is for your kind information. Although this is to request or to inform, this is quite, cannot be written when you are sending an email to your hierarchy, to the higher authority. So that it's very polite or gentle to use. This is for your kind information. Or simply you can write that, please find the attached document or the report. In this way also you can write. It gives me immense pleasure when you are going to inform about your achievements, about any of the messages which you have achieved. In that case, you can mention like, it gives me immense pleasure, it gives me immense delight, happiness to inform you. In this way, you can start writing email. Or in an informal way also, suppose when you are writing an email regarding a business matter, like you have certain problems with banking related issues or electricity or any sort of public offices. In that case, you can start writing, I'm writing, or inviting, informing. What would be your mode of action? Accordingly, you can use the action words or the verbs, so that in this way you can start the opening sentence and you can start writing the mail body. But always remember, when you are writing the content of the mail, that means the main body of the mail, at that time, always remember it must be very, very simple, clear, and compact. There should not be any sort of complicated, complex, compound languages, and should not be used abbreviations which are not commonly used. And even I would rather say that abbreviations and ampersands should not be used. Rather, you should write the complete thing if it's not very, very very common or very formal. So that should not be there. Always the paragraph should be written in small. You have to break the paragraphs into different paragraphs, and you can use the bullet points, whatever it's necessary. And before sending the mail, always use its proper grammar and syntax. So whatever you are writing, before sending it, at least twice or thrice, just look at the draft, whether you have committed any sort of mistake. So it should not be happened there. And if there is any, you are intending to attach any kind of document with your email, so definitely you must mention that you have attached something. There is an attachment, please find the attachment. And once you write the attachment, this is a very common mistake which we commit. We are supposed to attach something, but we forget before sending that email to attach that file. Although due to AI and artificial intelligence, once you write, please find the attached or attachment. Automatically before sending, once you are going to click the send button, there will be a pop-up. Probably you are supposed to attach a file you have missed, so that you can use it. Okay, means you can attach that file. So please remember this thing at the time of writing the mail body. You can see here, this is an example, like, good morning, sir, madam. In this way, many people start writing mail. I am Apurva Aladi from Bandwan, Bandwa MP. मैंने भी इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियरिंग किया है ना, ऐसे करके मीन्स in English scripture, the sender is writing Hindi. Okay, so this type of writing or drafting is very, very negative and creating negative impact on the recipient of the mail. Suppose you are sending this mail to your teacher or to the instructor or to the concerned person who is coordinating certain project, or to your guide, or to the company HR or the head, and you are writing in this way, just read this mail, then you can understand. So just the candidate has written in Hindi with using the English scripture. So this sort of language is very, very negative and create extremely negative impact. So rather, you must practice writing email, and if you can, means if it's suitable, you can take help from any of your instructors, any of your teachers from your college or university, and they can help you out in this way. And you can see here, thank you, and his name has been written in completely in small caps, and then only the place, name of the place and all. So these are completely means discourageable. Don't use certain languages and certain things. So before going to end the mail, you can write the closing sentences. So before writing closing sentence, or just before going to wind up the mail, you can write in this way. This is for your kind response, approval, or suggestion, guidance, whatever will be the action of your mail, you can write in this way: your kind response, your kind approval, suggestion, guidance is solicited, needed, required. Kindly feel free to contact me if you have any doubts, questions, queries. Suppose you are sending an information or any sort of topic to the participants, recipients, and there might be a possibility, there might be possible questions or queries. In that case, you can just address in this way, that feel free to contact me if you have any doubts, questions, or queries. I would appreciate your prompt, immediate, quick action in this matter or regard. If something is very urgent, so in that case, you can mention in this way. I look forward to hearing you soon as possible. Thank you for your time and consideration. Please let me know that what time works best for you. Please find the attachment. This is for your kind perusal or reference. So these lines are used as concluding lines or the closing sentence. This line is very much used, which I have mentioned at the end of this slide. This is for your kind perusal or reference, which has been used when you attach something. कोई फाइल अटैच किए for the reference of the recipient. In that case, आप ऐसे लिख सकते हैं, this is for your kind reference or the perusal. और कोई मेल में immediate action चाह रहे हैं आप, तो you can request, I would appreciate your prompt, immediate or quick action in this matter or regard. So in this way, you can just conclude the email. Now sign off. Sign off means the email signature that I will show you from where one can set the email signature. Many of you know, but certain technical things just I'm going to discuss. Before going to sign off, you can just write in this way: best wishes, best regards, with warm regards, yours sincerely. So with these phrases, as I have mentioned, these 4 phrases, generally standard phrases which you can use before your email signature. Generally, for students or for the aspirants, this phrase is very important, means very popular to use, like with warm regards or yours sincerely. And for the professionals, they can use like best regards, best wishes, and after a comma, your mail signature will be there, and mail signature will consist of your name, designation, name of the organization, your personal or official email ID, contact number, the website of the organization, or any hyperlink of your public profile. There are different public domains and we have public profiles on these domains. So you can just mention these hyperlinks there and the website links there just after the mail ID or the telephone number. So for an example, just I have mentioned an image like the name of the person, the designation of the person, and the company's name. And this is the official email ID, calling number, and this is the website of the company and the address. And if you have any hyperlink or certain things, you can mention. But don't forget to give your contact number if there is no means personal issue. In that case, contact number is very important, because after receiving an email, many people are yet to contact you for any kind of any sort of immediate action. So sometimes we think that if we mention our telephone number or cell number, then it will be sort of disturbing issue. That's a concern, but it's suggested that you must mention your telephone number, because this person is immediately going to contact you. So he or she can contact you over the telephone. So in this way, you can sign off a mail, or you can just conclude an email. So this is all about the email structure, which I have just told you at the time of composition. Now I'm going to talk about certain email etiquettes. We have times almost 40 minutes. So I'm going to talk about certain things that are there to be discussed. Email etiquettes. As I told you that etiquette is very important, right? Suppose you are going to talk about in the public domain, face-to-face, interpersonal communication. There also your manners and etiquettes are very important. Similarly, at the same time, over the cyberspace or over internet, and even where we are going to talk about email, so there are certain etiquettes are very important to be maintained. So the first thing is be concise and to the point always, because you are writing an email to inform. This is the purpose, to inform, means to carry out the information, convey the information, or circulate the information. So it should be very, very concise and to the point. You are not going to write any sort of creative writing और कोई poem fiction लिखने नहीं जा रहे हम. तो आपको concise and precise होना है, to the point होना चाहिए. Answer all the questions. So you have to answer all the questions which are asked in an email. So go through the email in a very specific manner and don't skip any question or any sort of queries which have been asked to be addressed. Next is use proper spelling, grammar, and punctuation. In that case, nowadays there are so many associated softwares and applications are there. Grammarly, Grammar Check, and other things, other softwares are there, that you can use the free version of that, or also you can take a subscription of that, so that that can be automatically synchronized with your system, with the computer, and that will suggest you if you commit any kind of mistakes in terms of syntax, and means grammar, punctuation, spelling, and all these things. Make it customized. The purpose should be very well understood, and accordingly you have to respond. Answer swiftly within 24 hours at least. Every day all of us must means check the inbox, and accordingly we have to answer the emails. Don't attach unnecessary files. So which files are needed to be attached, only attach these files. Don't use or attach unnecessary files. Use proper structure and layout. There are certain structures and layouts are there which we have to use. Don't overuse the high priority option. That I will show you once I'm going to talk about the live of that email. High priority options you can select to make your mail prioritize. That should not be always used. Don't write in capitals. This is one of the very important etiquette during the composing of email. Always, sometimes we think that to emphasize something, we should write it in capital. But this is not exact. You should not write in capital, because all the continuous capital letters will be very much dazzling to the eyes of the readers. So that should not be effective or proper way to read it. So don't leave out the message thread. If there is, you are responding to an email with reference to, means suppose you are forwarding or replying to an email, taking the previous mail or the trail mail. In that case, don't respond to that communication with a fresh mail. Rather, you have to use the thread of the mail as the reference and read through the email. Sometimes what we do generally, as I told you, that subject line must carry the important message which you are going to convey. So what we generally do, we just read the subject line and the first few lines. Okay, this is the ultimate message has been given by the mail. But there are certain minute informations might be lying there in between the sentences or the lines. So that we have to very carefully, or we have to thoroughly read the draft of the mail or the content part. Don't overuse reply to all. Reply to all is very commonly used, and many people use that option. So when you are going to click on that reply to all option, that means unnecessary to whom you are not supposed to intimate that message as a response or as reply. So all the persons will be intimated, or for many means kind of suppose if you have achieved something, for your achievements and anything, you are going to respond, means intimate, and you are getting the appreciation mails. So if you reply to all, in that case, all the recipients of that mail will be, means frequently being pinged that they will receive that mails times and again. So that should not be used, reply to all. So the concerned persons to whom you are going to respond or to send the information, only you can just send. And next, you can see that carefully use abbreviations I was talking about. Sometimes abbreviations are not understood by the strangers or the people, those who are not very much habituated or accustomed to that particular abbreviation or that particular terminology. So in that case, whenever you are going to use the abbreviation, please remember, suppose we are using OPJU, Jindal University. So those who are the part of OPJU, they will understand it. But if you are sending that email, or if you are writing something which you are supposed to send to the strangers or the outsiders of the organization, in that case, they might not be able to understand your abbreviation. So that should not be used, or that should be carefully used. Any sorts of abbreviations, terminology, jargons, or any sorts of things. Be careful with formatting part. As I told you, that subject line, salutation, body, and that mail body should not be written in a paragraph, long paragraph, which is not very clearly understandable, should not be used in this way. Use a meaningful subject line within a number of characters. Use active instead of passive voice. This is very important. Sometimes we write in a passive voice. So when you are writing sentences in passive voice, these sentences are not very polite or gentle to read or to hear. So in that case, try to use active voice, which you know already in terms of language. Use urgent or important very carefully. Also, you can add on a tag like urgent or important when you are sending an email. So in that case, also when you are using that, so definitely you have to be very, very aware of using these things. And avoid using long and complex sentences. As I told you, that body must be containing simple sentences which will clearly convey them information or the message which you are sending. Use appropriate salutation. This is very important, as I have already discussed before, that salutation you have to whom you are sending the email. That has to be understood very well, and accordingly you have to use the salutation, because this is the very beginning. If you misuse or wrongly write the salutation, that will convey a wrong message to the recipient, which will completely mess up the entire purpose of your email. So use of language and the vocabulary is very, very important when you are writing an email, because through that language you can you can convince your audience. That is the most important aspect. And use online dictionary or the spell check software or application, which I have just told you. You can synchronize that software, you can synchronize these applications. AI tools are there that you can synchronize with your system, so that they can auto suggest you that if you are committing any sorts of mistake in terms of language use. At least, as I told you, that once you are sending a sensitive email or an important email, so what I use or what I follow, that prepare the draft of the email without missing any sorts of information which are compulsory to attach in the mail body. And then do one thing. Sometimes continuously when we are looking at the email, at that time we couldn't understand that what exactly the mistake we have done. So in that case, what is suggested to do, like you can prepare the draft, and you can just leave aside the draft, and you can have a round, or you can leave the system for some minutes or half an hour. And after coming back after 15 minutes or half an hour, again you can just check the draft, whether all the information, all the required documents or the required information you have mentioned properly in the subject line. This is very important. So before sending any mail, please at least check the draft twice, because the language experts, even they commit mistake in many ways. Okay, with a fraction of your attention, or if it's missed, it's slipped. So in that case, you can misspell, you can there might be mistakes in terms of punctuation, grammar. So there are many things which we can commit. So we are human beings. Definitely errors are expected. So that should be looked after carefully. Be polite and reciprocate in a gentle and good way. This is very important etiquette. As just remember, once you are interacting with someone face to face or interpersonally, physically, at that time, what we do we misbehave with the other person? Do we misbehave in terms of our appearance, in terms of our facial expression or body language? So from a gentle, from a well-mannered person, this sort of etiquette is not expected. So just remember this thing in terms of email also. When you are using that cyberspace to inform something using that email, always be very, very polite and reciprocate in a very gentle way. Your selection of vocabulary, selection of words should not be in terms of intending to take any sort of revenge or any sort of rude languages or vocabularies you must not use, because sometimes we think that the person to whom I'm sending that mail is not in front of me, so I may write this thing, but you don't know that even your physical expression may not affect that person that much, which will be affected by your language which you are writing on your mail. So this is very important, and that's why in official office and work culture, okay, there are certain things are being sparked or accelerated through mail. हम जिसको colloquial language मेलवाती बोलते हैं, तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Polite and gentle way में reciprocate करना चाहिए. This is very, very important etiquette. All of us must remember this thing when we are communicating through this. Keep your mail ID identical with you. This is one of the very important aspect. Always remember your mail ID, which will circulate to many places, to many spaces, right? So in that case, your mail ID must be identical with you. That means it will be composed with your name and certain numericals or certain punctuations like full stop or underscores like that. Because as I'm giving you some examples, I know that many of us we just try to, or we compose our mail ID or create mail with different sorts of interesting IDs like I am jockey, okay, or like sort of things. So these type of mail IDs are not very much appreciable, because once you create such type of mail ID, that won't
Sir,
be yes, sir.
can I interrupt
Yes, sir, please.
for a while?
Sir, please.
For being an interactive session, and this topic or whatever the point you are discussing is very important.
Sir,
In my point of view, I have seen. I want to talk topic on this topic.
sir.
The many email ID of the student, mechanical rock, the cool,
Exactly.
like that. Okay. So this is very important. Your email ID should start by your mail, by your name.
Exactly, sir. Exactly, sir.
Just for the session be interactive, that's why I interrupt you. Sorry for this.
No, sir. That's
You
great.
make you carry it out. You carry it out.
Yes, sir. That we have actually, as you have already shared your experience, that we
Yes.
have even also seen amongst our friends, amongst our colleagues, or many of the students, they like to use the mail ID in such a way. So that is not encourageable. So always mail ID should be very, very identical. That means that will convey the name of yours with certain digits, because exact your name won't be allowed by the domain to create the ID. Probably there might be lots of names alike, which will not be permitted to create. So you can just add on as suffix some numbers.
Please continue, sir. Just
Sir,
for the change the
yes,
uh,
yes, yes.
mode of the student. That's why I interrupt.
Right. Okay, sir. Thank you. And so these are the important etiquettes. I hope that all of you have understood this. Now, I have just mentioned in front of you, this is a very horrible sort of email. And this is a practical screen, the real example screenshot I have just presented in front of you. You can see the content or the subject of an email, and that mail was sent by an academician of the designation which I have mentioned. And why? Because sometimes I just took a screenshot of this email from somewhere, and just look at the body of the mail. Dear sir, today undersigned was continue busy with end semester practical examination, BTech CSE section B1 and B2, HOLE, whole the day. Therefore, unable to join the meeting. Thanks. And believe me, I'm not sharing this thing in terms of insulting or demotivating anyone, but this is the thing because of ignorance of sort of language or the kind of etiquettes, unknowing the etiquettes. Such type of male body was mentioned by an associate professor of a university. So my dear participants, those who are attending the session, so this is real. Those who are just ignoring the mail, that I know, that we know all of us that how to write email and in this way. Just believe me, this sort of email, and even this is that a person is not working in a very common college or university. He is working in a reputed university, and this sort of mail body was written by him. Anyways, so we must not do some mistake or commit some mistake in this way. At least you can look at the spelling HOLE, whole the day. How this is, mocking or joking kind of sort of things when somebody will receive that mail. Anyways, or you can see a snapshot like, respected sir, my name is Amit Prakash. So that student is writing in this way, respected sir, R small, S small. Even the first letter of the sentence, my name is, my aim is small. And when he is writing his name, that is in complete capital letter. So these are the blunders or the blunder mistakes which we do through email. And always remember that once you are sending an email, once you send the click button, it has been sent or shoot. Okay, you cannot take it back. You can give justification later, but once you have written something, that has been taken as a recorded document. So remember this thing and be cautious about it. Now, I'm going to talk about that phishing or the fraudulent email. As we have talked about or we have discussed that why email has become so popular or why it has become a part and parcel of our day-to-day professional life. So because of its flexibility that we have already discussed, that why email, in that slide we have discussed that because of its easy accessibility, okay, we can immediately send it, and sort of flexible features are there. So that's why email has become a part and parcel of billions of people. And we have already found that fact that almost 4 billion email accounts are there. And you can think just the number, 270 billion mails on an average we exchange throughout the world every day. So that medium is used by some fraudsters intending to occur or happen certain frauds. So I hope that all of you have heard about these terminologies: phishing, whizzing, and smishing. Generally, whizzing and smishing we are not going to talk about, but this is only for your kind information. Phishing, that is only we are going to talk here in this session. Fraudulent emails and websites mean to steal data or sort of happening any kind of malicious activities. Okay, so we have to be very, very aware about phishing. Whizzing and smishing these are the fraudulent phone calls and the text messages, which we are not going to talk about. So all of you must remember, because when you are using an email in your device, so if anybody can take your device as remote, okay, means from remote control, so that many data which are stored in your device can be stolen easily within a second. It can be hacked easily. So how to identify a phishing email? Very easy. The domain will be unexpected. So these will come from unknown senders with unexpected offers, information, demands that seem out of place, which are not relevant. Disguised, that will hover over email link to see if they seem irregular or point you to different side than what you were expecting. I'm going to talk about in that case. That means pirate things should be there. Pirated versions should be there. Seeking personal information, that is very, very threatening. Urgency, that will means urge you in such a way that immediately you should respond, or otherwise you are going to miss that offer or miss that sort of big opportunity. And that sort of phishing mails, there is a maximum survey that proves that reflects that there are different sorts of spelling mistakes or incorrect grammars, incorrect terms, terminologies. These are used at the time of composing these sort of emails. So like I have just presented an email. You can see here in that slide that here you can see the from mail ID and the domain. This is very uncommon. So if you are not knowing that sort of domain, you must not open that email ID, or if you have opened, so immediately report. You can see here, there will be the hyperlink and you will be asked to click on that link immediately. Or there, there will be a certain sort of verification, personal things will be there. Like if you just go through the mail body, you will understand. Our record indicates that you recently made a request to terminate your Office 365 email, and this process has begun by our administrator. Okay. And if this request was made accidentally and you have no knowledge of it, you are advised to verify your account below. And then there is a hyperlink. And once you just take your cursor on that hyperlink, you will find such sort of suspicious website links to verify. And then they're asking to verify this thing. Please give us 24 hours to terminate your account or verify your account. So they are giving you any time limit. Urgency, they are mentioning urgency. And failure to verify will result in closure of your account. So kind of sort of threat that if you don't verify, your account will be deactivated or sort of thing. So those who are just like, means if you have a common sense and become aware of the language and the motive behind that email, you can easily understand that sort of things. Okay. So surprising facts of phishing attacks nowadays. You can see the data which I have just presented here. So phishing attacks, the increasing number of phishing attacks, you can see from 2019 to 22, month-wise, the data has been mentioned in a research paper. And the most targeted industries in phishing in the Q4 of 2022. Most targeted, you can see here, 27.7% financial institutions that has been attacked by these phishing mails. Okay, this is for your awareness and information. So you can see during 2022 Amazon Prime Day, 900 fake Amazon sites were used. Many times you will get, even I have also received through WhatsApp or through mail or message that you can purchase something from Amazon by 1 rupee, by 2 rupees, 3 rupees, and sort of attractive gifts are there. So 900 fake Amazon sites are there which have been used during Amazon Prime Day 2022. I'm giving you the justified data. Gift cards are still a popular form of phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are getting more sophisticated. In a sophisticated way, such type of phishing mails are coming. And be very, very cautious and aware at the time of using AI tools like ChatGPT and other AI tools. Now, these tools are the targets by the fraudsters and the fraudulent organizations. They are targeting these AI tools by which they are trying to interrupt and trying to get into your periphery. So the last thing is very important. Human intelligence is the best defense against phishing attacks. So if you are aware, if you are cautious, if you are not tempted by any sort of very surprising or attractive opportunities or gifts and deals, so that you can defend these sort of things. So take away from these discussion, never click any kind of hyperlinks which are given in the mail. If you get any sort of emails from any person or any university offering or any organization offering you any sort of offers, placements, that happens very often from the different countries abroad. Suppose all of us, we have our targets, we have our dreams that if we get a chance to work in the Middle East or in European countries or in Australia or somewhere else, so that would be a dream job kind of things. So that emotion is used by certain fraudsters, and they communicate with you certain job offers or certain things that should be very, very threatening. Please remember this thing. So once you are getting any sort of offers or any sort of opportunities, immediately by your own way, you just try to verify or cross check or communicate with that person by email or by, if it's possible, over telephone or by any means. Okay, just communicate with the mother institute. Report any sort of doubtful message immediately to the system. Automatic systems are there. If there is spam mail, if there is any sorts of suspicious mail, you can submit a request to that mail domain. Suppose if it's in Gmail or Yahoo or any sort of Outlook. So every system has their own firewall and their reporting database. So you can submit a request. Change the mail password. Any kind of account's password, you change it within a specific period of time regularly. And there is multi-factor authentication, two-step verification. Sometimes you have found in your Gmail or Google that they asked for two-step verification, and there are authenticators are there also. So I have found in Outlook they are using authenticator apps. So once you are going to log into the application, you have to authenticate it from your own mobile device. So two-way authentications is very important nowadays. And if your official mail ID has been hacked, or if you have received any sorts of phishing mail in your official mail ID, suppose you are a part of any organization, university, school, college, so you can submit a request or a complaint to the IT department. And if you have lost, or if you are a victim in any case, any sort, suppose you have lost your money, any sort of data theft, or any kind of threatening message or anything you have received, don't hesitate. Immediately report to the local law enforcement, local administration, and take the help of the IT department. Nowadays, Government of India's IT, Ministry of IT, they are also having their own cell. So this is all about the phishing and fraudulent emails. So now the last 20 minutes, I'm going to the mail ID for the specific and live interaction. Sir, are you there?
Sir, I am here.
Okay,
very interesting session, a very good session is going
yes, sir.
on.
Yes. I'm just sharing my... Sir.
You want to interact with students? Participants?
It won't be probably possible. I'm going to my mail ID mailbox. live. And students, if you have any doubts or any question, you can post it in the chat box. Sarah is there, and I can also take your questions. No problem. I'm going to interpret and trying to show you certain basic things. Just sharing the screen.
Yeah, it
sir,
is visible.
my screen is visible. Okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Okay.
So you can give a demo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can see here, this is a mailbox, right? And first of all, I would like to say one thing. Like, all of us, we have our own room, we have our own sitting place, we have our own home, we have our own corner of our house or the surrounding places. So what we generally want, we want to keep these places organized. This is the first thing, right? So mailbox is a certain thing which must be organized, right? But I have just showing you an email box which is not organized, and how does it look and how you can make an email box organized. This is one of my rarely used mailbox, so that is just, I'm just showing this thing to you. First of all, you can see in the inbox there are 345 emails which are unread. These numbers are unread mails. Okay, so you should not keep any mail unread for a long time. As 345 mails are unread, that means you can see that for last around, you can find even for last 6 months or 1 year, there are certain mails which are not read. That should not be done. At least the main used mail ID. Sometimes what happens, we means keep on using our official emails. So we keep on just avoiding using the mails of our personal mail ID, personal emails. But that should not be done. At least in alternate days, you must keep your mailbox once, because if you have any sort of important communication, then you must respond to that communication within 24 hours as per the standard etiquette, email etiquette. So once you are suppose reading an email, suppose observance of Vigilance Awareness Week 2023, that IRCTC Vigilance Awareness team, they have sent this mail as a awareness. Okay, as I told you, look at the subject line very carefully. Very well structured, observance of Vigilance Awareness Week of 2023. And they have given a message to the customers. And you can see the message, how well it is structured. You can find the from mail ID, from where that mail has been sent, and to whom it has been sent, to me. And there is no CC and no VCC. Okay, and if I reply to that mail, then it will be replied to that mail ID that has been mentioned. You have received, I have received that mail 2 days ago on 31st of October, 12:47 AM. Okay, and you can see that message, how it has been structured, very well structured message, and point wise, bullet point wise, it has been given. Okay, and finally that signature of the authority. Now after reading that mail, if I find that is completely insignificant, or I should not keep that mail in my mailbox, then I can delete. But if I feel that no, this is a mail which is very important, because this is a Vigilance Awareness Week related information, so I must be aware about the information which have been communicated by IRCTC. So I will read it later. So you can mark it as star. If you just label it as star, it will be available in your starred message box. As I have given it starred, so you can see here starred message, so that later on you can read it. Otherwise, it will be lost in the ocean of your mailbox, right? Suppose there is an email of for say like this one. This is a promotional mail. Google on 121 euro, 121k euro per year versus this one, this thing. Suppose sometimes I have probably given this mail ID for any sort of subscription or any advertisement in response. That's why I'm receiving such type of promotional mail. But after reading that mail, if I feel that no, this is not useful for me, you just simply delete it. Okay. And if you find that by mistake you have subscribed that channel or that thing, and you are continuously getting that email, and you are not willing to receive any mail from that particular sender or that organization, in that case, you can do one thing. You can report that mail as spam. Once I report that mail as spam, then this sender won't be able to send me that mail further. And if they send it even, it will be directly go to the spam box. And if you click that on that option, report spam and unsubscribe, in that case, that sender won't be able to further send me any mail. So in this way, you can unsubscribe, right? Or you are thinking that no, I will probably keep that mail for further reference because you have ample of space to store emails. There is no problem. You can keep it for further use. Suppose you are going to make a box or make a kind of level of that particular mails. In that case, suppose I am selecting all the mails from Sandeep Khera. Okay, I have selected, and I'm going to make another folder for these kind of mails. Further, if sometimes if I feel that it will be useful, in that case I can use. So in that case, you have to click in the checkbox, and then you have to just click on that, move to, and here you can create any kind of folder. Suppose already predefined folders are there like personal, receipts, unwanted, work, social. Okay. So you can create a new folder over here. Suppose you are creating a folder like in this way, you can create, right? So you can see here in the labels, this folder will be created. All right. And these three mails, which I was intending to store in that folder, these three mails are here in the folder. So later on, you can just keep on storing or assigning these mails from Sandeep Khera in this particular folder, and you can use it later further. So in this way, you can use numbers of levels or numbers of folders in the level option. All right. In this way, every day we should manage the mailbox. So there are lots of unread mails. There might be certain emails which would have been, useful or probably purposeful. So that may have been missed. Okay. And that should not be in this way, right? If I feel that it is not useful, suppose this is a promotional mail, I can simply delete that mail, right? Sometimes you will find if you click on the more option here available, if you click here, you will get certain options like chats, scheduled, all mails, spam, trash, and managing levels. Sometimes what happens, different important mails even are been there in the spam box. Important mails are been stored there in the spam box. So suppose somebody is saying that I have sent you the mail and you are responding, I haven't received the mail. So once you check the spam box, or if you click on the all mail option, then you will get all the mails irrespective of any levels, irrespective of any sorts of promotional, social and other mails. all the mails will be reflected here in that box. And if you don't find the mail in the all mail or the spam box, then you are sure and you can surely respond to the other person that no sir or no madam, I haven't received any mail from your side. But before confirming, suppose you are checking the inbox only and the mail is not there in the inbox. Today, one thing happened to me in this way. I'm searching it in the inbox, but it was not there in the inbox. Once I click in the spam box or in the all mail option, then I will get all the mails in the all mail option. So these are important. So that may create sometimes miscommunication or confusion. That's why mandatorily you will find that at the bottom of the mail, sometimes for any important communication, it's mentioned that please check the spam box also. Thrash means
this information is very good. You have been narrated here or
sir.
explained here. This is really helpful. Sir, please continue.
Yes, sir. So there is thrash box. After deleting the mail, suppose by mistake you have deleted some mail. For some times, as it is given there, this message have been in thrash more than 30 days will be automatically deleted. That means by mistake, suppose you have deleted a mail. Suppose for an example, you can see here, I have deleted this mail, go Avivo. Suppose I have by mistake deleted this mail. You have an option to undo within a few seconds, but if you fail to undo, it will be there in the thrash box. See here. It will be there in the thrash box. So these mails will be here for 30 days and after that it will be automatically deleted. So this thrash is also been used for any kind of important mails if you have deleted, right? And you can see here like drafts are there, as I told you that at the time of composing any sort of important email, at the time of drafting, after draft, please leave this mail for some times, at least 10 to 15 minutes. After that, come back and sit and again go through the draft and check whether the draft you have composed properly. So in this way, you can use the draft box. Sent mail, you can check the mails which you have sent. Okay, important mail. As I have told you that when you can see there is a tag beside star. There is a symbol beside star. This is important one. So you can categorize your mail as per its priority. As per its priority, you can categorize. Suppose you are keeping some mails in the star box, it will be starred, means it will be in the starred box. Or if you are going to label it with important, then it will be in the important. So you can check it, it's there in the important. And at the time of composing email, also you can prioritize your mail. This is the mail compose mail interface. You can see where you have to give the mail ID to whom you are going to send. It's CC and BCC, as I told you. For information, if you are sending that mail to some other persons, you can give their mail ID in CC and in BCC and the subject. And that mail signature, automatically mail signature will come if you once set it. I'm just coming to it. And there are certain options after writing. If you would like to format your text, you can change the font style. There are certain suggested font styles are there. Text, different size of texts are there. Small, normal, large and huge. Bold, italics, underline, the text color and the background color you can change. You can change the alignment. You can put the list of number of lists through bullets or the numbers, or you can change the alignments. This is the quotation, and that is the removed formatting. Any sort of formatting is there, and that is the strike through, means if you would like to strike any line, so that you can use. And there are certain things like this is the formatting option. There you will get certain formatting. These options will be vanished. This bar will be vanished. This is the attached file. As I told you, this option is very important. when you are going to attach any document, you can attach from here. Or when you are using your laptop or personal computer, you can use the drag and drop also. This is very easy to attach any file. But for image files, if you drag and drop, in that case, it may change the formatting of your mail body. So if it's necessary, in that case, you can drag and drop. Otherwise, you can attach from this option. Otherwise, image files means mismanage the drafting part of the mail body. Okay, this is the link insert. If you'd like to insert any link, so you can do means insert link by that using emojis. This is the drive option. Insert files using drive. You will find that if you are going to send any file more than 25 MB or 20 MB probably in this way, so it will be automatically sent through drive. So this is the drive option. And insert photographs if you would like to insert. And these are certain other things. Labels. Now, see from here, these three dots, more options, you will find a label option. Suppose you are sending an email and you would like to give a label, like by default, these mails, if you can see, these mails are by default important labeled. So these mails, sorry, inbox, you can find it. Some mails are been highlighted by these icon and some are not. Why? Because this yellow icon, once it's yellow, that means these are important. That means when the sender has sent me that mail, by default, he has opted that priority or the important option, so that this mail will be received by the receiver with an indication of its importance, so that you can give importance. That's why I told you that when you are using such sort of labels, be very, very careful. If you use a very petty things with an important label, then from the next time your important labels value will not be there. So be very careful. Anyways, I'm exceeding the time. So the last option is setting the mail signature. There are lots of things are there in the setting option you will find. So general settings are there. You can change the organization of your mailbox by just clicking on that default, comfortable, compact. But if you change in this way, you can see the arrangements of your mails. So this is by default. These are different themes you can use. I'm directly going to the signature. If you go to the setting option, you will find here there is mail signature. Mail signature is there, and you can set here your signature over here. Okay, and as I told you in the presentation, how should be your signature? Your thanks and regards, or best regards, best wishes, your sincerely, with warm regards, ऐसा कुछ आप दे सकते हैं. उसके बाद फिर आपका नाम, your designation, then the organization's name, address or the place of the organization, your contact number, official email ID, your homepage. And as this is not my official email, so I haven't mentioned the website of the university, but this is my homepage. So these public hyperlinks are here that you can give, or somebody can give other hyperlinks also. The availability in the LinkedIn or any social media sites or any kind of research portals, research public sites are there. So you can mention there also. So in this way, once you set the signature, so that will be automatically set, and you have to just click on the save option. If I just change anything, there will be save change. So once you set the mail signature, so it will be automatically set, and by default, when you go to compose any mail, so that signature will be auto set. In this way, easily you can compose the mail, and you can send it easily. There will be no problem. So this is all about, there are lots of things which cannot be covered within 1 or 2 hours. So by default, by using or means by the course of time, you will come to know all these things. So you can take help from any of your expert seniors or faculty members, okay, from the placement cell. So we all will be happy to help you out, extend our assistance. About my presentation, once just I'm going to the previous and the concluding slide. Just a minute, sharing my slide once again. Okay. So that was the slide and I went to my mail ID. Now, this is a very strong message by which I would like to wind up the session. Email, instant messaging and cell phones give us fabulous communication ability. But because we live and work in our own little worlds, that communication is totally disorganized. That has been said by Marilyn Vos Savon. So the thing is that, as I have just shown you, in any terms, suppose you are writing an email in a disorganized manner, your communication means the selection of words are very poor, and salutations are not proper. In any terms, if you make any sorts of mistakes, that will make a mess and create a problem, nuisance, and that should not be happen. That's why we are here to organize this session and to equip you with the skills of effective email writing, which will be helpful in your future definitely. And with that thank you, and if you have any questions, you may please put forward.
Thank you,
Sir.
Arindam sir.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
very informative session. This was a very informative session in which you explain from 2CC, BCC, importance of signature, how to write subject, how to write a body,
Sir.
then how to greet at the starting, how to conclude, how to save, how to prepare folder, how to classify the folder, what is meant by spam, what is meant by importance and star mark, label, signatures, do, don't, and various etiquettes, netiquettes. This is a very informative, this was a very informative session for the students, and from there are many messages.
Yes, sir.
Uh, in which the student saying uh, thank you, and this is not only important for the student but also for the faculty member too. So thank you very much for sparing the time with us, and definitely this would be important, and from which the student can gain, and moreover they are implementing, they
Yes,
will
sir.
implementing these guidelines in their emails. With this, I thank once again to you for your efforts. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So, dear students, participants, please start implementing and using this thing in a proper and effective way, which will be very much important for your further professional life, and that will definitely help you to succeed in future. So one day or with a single session, it won't be possible to cope up everything. But if you try to at least implement these things or try to think about all these things at the time of writing, that will definitely means help you by the course of time, or you will be able to acquire these skill sets in future. With these words, thank you so much. Thank you all the participants. Thank you, sir,
Thank you, sir.
for
Thank
giving
you.
me this opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.